Today's question comes from Camden Boyd, and I'll pop the question up on the screen, but he wants to know hunting with fields and small woods. I'm guessing he's looking for some advice here. And it's a good question. And it can be good. You know, a lot of times, like for instance, my old property, it was really, really big wood settings. There was no ag around. There was really no anybody doing food plots. There was really no open areas, and it was really, really big timber. And in those big timber situations, when you plant a food plot, you're going to attract a lot of deer. And it's really, no matter what you plant, you're just going to suck those deer in from far distances because there's a lack of food. There's no ag for them to eat. There's no beans, there's no corn, there's no nothing like that. And a lot of times in those big wood settings is you have lack of food at ground level because you have a closed canopy forest. So as soon as you plant a food plot, you're just going to suck those deer in from far away. And that can be good. Now in these small patches of woods and things, it's a little bit different because you have to be a little bit more strategic on what you plant, because you have probably, it sounds like it's in an ag area, and you have to be a little bit more strategic with what you plant because sometimes a deer won't eat it. And you have to plant things such as like beans, and if you have a large enough area, you can plant corn and buckwheat for in the fall, just to get them to eat what you actually want them to plant, whether it's brassicas or wheat, oats, rye. It just really depends what part of the country you're in. Now, in those small patches of woods like that, a lot of times you have to use those small patches to create, a bedding area and keep that unpressured, and then basically draw them out of that into, say, a food plot. And you have to use strategic access because those small patches you can blow out very quickly. But whether you have big woods or small patches, there's always a strategic method to hunting those areas. And we experienced this this year. I wouldn't say it was super small patches of woods, but it was smaller areas, and it had so much ag around. The deer had so much food, and it was kind of difficult to hunt because you only had one way in and one way out. You had a lot of pressured in areas from neighboring properties. But if you get those isolated areas of these small patches of woods, those small patches will hold deer in there. And if you can strategically hunt those with no pressure, good wind directions, in and out, good entry, exit, you can draw those deer out of there into a food plot and hunt those edges, or hunt far distance away, say if you're rifle hunting or something. But it can be good hunting. But you got to be careful because you can blow them deer out of there. And those small patches, you can do some timber work, get some logs on the ground to increase some ground cover and extra browse and vegetation. But again, in those big ag areas and such, and those small patches of woods, a lot of times you have those big bucks in there because you have all that ag around, and those deer can get isolated in those small patches of woods. Around here, where I live in Maryland, we have a lot of small patches, and you walk in there and there's just like a monster buck just bedded there. And it's hard to get permission to hunt these areas just because of the area I'm in. But those isolated little areas and pockets of woods can hold some big bucks. And if you have good access with whatever property that it is you're hunting, you can have good success with it. And like I said, you may not draw as many deer as you would if you're in an area with big wood settings, because they have so much food variety. So you have to use a little bit different methods when you have those small patches of woods in an ag area compared to when you have big wood settings, and no ag and no food around. A little bit different. So hopefully this helps you. Any questions, leave a comment down below. I can answer, reply back to you. Give the video a thumbs up, subscribe if you guys are new. I'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks for watching this video, guys. If you want more information on food plots, soil samples, and habitat management, click this video right here on the screen. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you guys are new.